Hi friend, I filmed my video and I thought I filmed an intro and apparently I'd never pressed record. So, hey friend, it is 4/5/25, the 5th day of April. It is our 3rd month anniversary. Time for Q&A. Yappy and I are ready, and I hope you're ready to get the answers to the questions that you've asked. So grab a snack and come on back. Happy Saturday, my beautiful friend. It is our 3rd month anniversary back on this platform. It is April 5th, 2025. You know, 5 was the day of change for me on January 5th when I came back to this platform after being here for 14 years. April 1st, 2025, just this week, made my 14th year anniversary on this platform. 14 years, and I'm just now coming into my own and doing my videos. I decided January 5th that it was time that I needed to come and do YouTube. So Yappy wasn't with me at first, but now Yappy is here and she will always be here with me, blessing me here. And before we get started, I had thanked the Divine Spirit today for you. I thank Divine Spirit for the supportive relationships that uplift and inspire me in this space. You all uplift me and inspire me, and you support me every day that you come and watch my videos and share my videos and speak about me in your videos, and that you support. You just support me. You ask your friends, you share Lexi and you share Yappy with your friends and family, and I'm so grateful. So very grateful to you. So grateful to you. And I also thank Divine Spirit for the deep and meaningful connections that I have made here on this platform. I was speaking to one of my beautiful soul sisters yesterday, and she's like my little bestie now. She's amazing, and we're here, and all my soul sisters here, you know who you are. I love you all so much. You all have so impacted my life. You have embraced me. You have embraced Yappy. You have embraced my beautiful daughter Zoe, and I am so grateful to you. That Zoe is now surpassing me in this space. She's getting the views, thousands and thousands of views on her videos. She's getting more subscribers than me. She's passing me, and I am so grateful for that. I'm so grateful because that's what I wanted. I wanted that for her more than anything. And I'm so grateful. So thank you so much, so much. As my beautiful soul sister Rain says, I'm tapping my heart for you. I am so grateful to you. I'm so grateful. And yesterday was a beautiful night, Friday night. I spent it on the 4/4 portal yesterday. After Zoe got off, we came home and she had dinner. I had some little snacks and we watched YouTube, and my poor baby was exhausted from a long week of work, and she just passed out on the couch, and Ma'am curled up in my lap and went to sleep, which she never does. She never curls up in my lap. So that was special, and I got to just pet her and love on her. And so then I came back and got myself ready for bed. I'm like, no, I got to spend time with my other little baby, my Alana Banana. So we watched Moana 2 together, she in Canada and me here, and it was so fun. And then I went to bed. And I got up this morning and I'm like, well, it's our 3rd anniversary Q&A day. So let's get into it. Let's get into the Q&A. So we had 2 of my beautiful soul sisters ask me questions this time around. And one of them always participates, always, which is my bestie, Ange. And my other soul sister, the spiritual Rain Francis, she asked the question, how did you get into oracle cards? And I've always been into the metaphysical since I was a child, but I didn't know what it was. And I believe that I've always been intuitive, but not really knowing. And I've always been an empath, but I didn't know what that was. And my beautiful, beautiful soul sister Rain, spiritual Rain Francis, she'll be listed down below. She's beautiful. And she has the most beautiful, beautiful tribe. Her hooligans, her 6 fur babies. So I got to say hi to the fur babies before I finish answering this question. So hi, Bobo Benny Bear. And hi, Mama Lucy. And hi, Raven. And hi, Ellie Faye. And let's see. I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I got Bobo Benny Bear. And I got Mama Lucy. And Raven. And Allie Faye. And there's little Mr. Oscar, the beautiful orange ginger tabby. And I'm missing one of the most important people here. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I got to check. Now let's see. Because I have not missed any of the fur babies. I have not missed any of the fur babies. So let's see. And I know, I'm missing this fur baby because apparently, I saved the best for last. I have saved the best for last. So let's see. Which fur baby am I missing? This is not making me happy right now. I don't like it when I miss somebody. Let's see. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? I know you all are like, get on with it, Lexi, but I can't get on with it until I know which one of the fur babies that I am missing in this space. That I'm missing. I'm missing somebody. And I don't know who it is. Smiley Miley. Smiley Miley. How could I forget Smiley Miley? Miley Cyrus, her name is Destiny, and she goes by Miley. And when she was little, they called her Smiley Miley. How could I forget that? Smiley Miley. So there go all the fur babies. Had to shout out the fur babies. So getting back to the question, how did you get into oracle cards? I got into them as an adult, but as a youngster, I was always interested in tarot, oracle, metaphysical. I was interested in Reiki. I was interested in yoga, but I never really did any of those things. And then my best friend, Pamela in California, who I went to school with, and we've been friends since she was 12 and I was 13. And she became a Reiki master and a yogi. Or yogini. I like yogini. That's probably not the term, but yogini to me. And that's when it really opened up my mind to, I need to really start, researching and getting back into the things that I've loved as a child. And so the oracle has always intrigued me, because the oracle is something that I really relate to, because I can give a story of that, of how that means, what the oracle card means to me and everything. Like, I got a new deck, and this deck I got is the Beast Oracle cards, and it is the Beast Soul Oracle. And these cards are all animal cards, and I love that. I love that. And I was just going through them, this morning. And they're different cards. They're like, this deck is divided. It's like 2 types of cards. There are insight cards and energy cards. And so I'm just learning, I'm just learning that right now. But of course, the card that popped out to me in every deck, which for me is the Strength card. That is my favorite card. Like, I know my friends all have different cards. Like, I know my beautiful Nancy at Crone's Intuition, she loves the Chariot card. And I just love and always resonate with the Strength card. And the strength card is always a lion, and I'm a Leo, and I love that. Usually it's a lion. And this card is the courageous lion. And the courageous lion means fortitude and courage and self-control. And I am very courageous. Getting here, coming here, you got to be courageous to do this, and confident. And I am very confident in myself. And it says you need to reclaim the hidden power within. Yes, we need to reclaim that hidden power within. You know, you have the power. As my beautiful baby sister Hilda says at Nova Scotia Black Indian Stories, Warrior Aunties 177, my beautiful baby sister Hilda says, you got the power. Yes, you got the power. You got the power, beloved. The power, you know, it's hidden within. You have it. You just got to let it out. You just got to release it. Release that power. Know what your power is and release it out to the world. Release it. We need to see your power. You got it. You got it. So that's basically how I got into oracle cards. Just always loving this, you know, as when we're young, it's like the occult and that kind of thing. And no, it's not. But I love words as spells. I love that. I love my mantras. I love my manifestations. And I love my meditation. And all of those things, everything we speak and say, those are spells, and those are things that we can put out into the universe. And that is what brought me also to the love of the oracle and the tarot. So I hope that answered your question, my beautiful soul sister Rain. Now next we have 4 questions from my beautiful, beautiful bestie, the beautiful Roots and Waves, Miss Ange. And let's see, we've got the first question from Ange is, what are 2 most important qualities that I look for in a friend? And the 2 qualities, which are what I mentioned earlier, are people really who uplift and inspire me. Those are 2 of the qualities that I look for. People who are always uplifting and inspiring me. I don't need anybody with low vibrations around me and low energy. No. I don't gravitate to those type of people. And there are a few of those people that are in my life because they've been in my life for like a really, really long time. But I don't always get with that. You know, I don't always get with that. I have to really prepare myself, prepare my mind, my body, my spirit, before I even have a conversation with those people. You know, I have to really ground myself. I have a very high frequency, and you all have noticed, you know, and you all have told me, you know, my frequency is high. I'm all about love and light and gratitude, and I'm not about negativity and complaining and all of that. I'm not about that. Yes, we can have a conversation talking about things and talking about, you know, other people that really drain the energy from me and things like that. But it's not like in a gossipy way and that type of thing. It's just things that I'm telling you, I've already told you to your face. So, and if you know Lexi, you know that I don't have a problem saying anything to you to your face. I really don't. I'm 60 years old. I don't have time for beating around the bush. And I'm going to say it like it is. I'm going to say what I mean and mean what I say. Yes. So those 2 qualities, uplifting and inspiring, I look for people like that. And I also look for people who support me, because I'm a ride or die for you. When you have entered my heart and my soul and my spirit, I am a ride or die chick for you. And I want that same thing in return. I want you to be ride or die for me. I want you to uplift me and be here with me and encourage me and say, yeah, Lexi, go for that, as I will for you. And trust is one of the big things too, you know, because there's more. Ange only asked for 2, but there's so many more. Trust. And I can't friend somebody who, and I do have a friend and friends who can be phony at times, or friends who, and I really use that word lightly, friend, because they're not somebody who's been in my life for a long time. You know, they've just been in my life for a little time. And we know that people are in our lives for a reason and a season. And those people with low vibration are only in my life for a season. And I know that, you know, I know that. And I know that the divine spirit, God, Buddha, Metatron, Archangel Michael, my ancestors, my beautiful jewel, my beautiful ancestors, spirit and guides, angels and saints, Mother Mary, dear God and Father above, sweet baby Jesus, whoever you align with in your life. They always tell us that our friendships, or people who maybe are not supposed to be long-lasting friends, are in our life for a reason and a season. And that is something that I've explained here. You know, that I met a friend who I was in school with, undergrad. We were in school for 4 years together. She was a beautiful person, but she was flaky and not reliable. And I knew that about her. And when it came time for God's like, she's going to show you the things that you need to know. She's going to show you these things. And she did. She showed me so many things that I had no clue on, that have changed my life forever. But when she was supposed to be there for the most important thing, to get me to this next space, she wasn't there. She flaked out on me. And I haven't talked to her since. And it's been 10 years exactly. July will make 10 years since I've spoken to that woman. And God said, yes, beloved, because she wasn't meant to be here with you for these next 10 years. She came, I sent her. She came. Yes, she's been in your life for these 4 years, but she hadn't done her job yet. Her job that I sent her to do for you was to show you how to do boom, 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 boom. And that's it. And that's what you needed. You needed her to show you and facilitate that for you. And you caught on to that immediately. And I said, okay, that's it. She's gone. You didn't need her anymore, beloved. And that 10 years ago is when I learned that people in my life for a reason and a season. And I listen. We get those God whispers, spirit whispers, Buddha whispers, whoever you align yourself with, angel whispers. When you get those whispers, you need to trust and believe in those whispers. You need to trust and believe. My mother always said to me, Lex, follow your first mind and you will never go wrong. Follow your first mind, your gut. Your gut is your intuition. And for my whole life, since I've been a child, everything that affects me in my life happens in my stomach. In my stomach. Everything. The irritable bowel, everything that's going on are things that are affecting me, and I let them affect me. When I don't let things affect me, I have no issues. Follow your first mind and you will never go wrong. Follow that gut intuition, and your gut will tell you who's good for you and who's not. When it comes to a friend, your gut will tell you. There's some people circling around me right now, you know, and I've piqued their energy, and I know that, you know, they tell untruths and they make up shit, and just to get, you know, for somebody to like them and da-da-da. And I don't align with that. You know, I'm playing the game. I'm going to play that little game with them, but I don't align with that at all. And soon that'll be out. You know, Spirit has put them here to show me something, to show me that that's the kind of person that I don't need in my life, that I don't align with. So you get those whispers, and Spirit, God, whomever you align with, is there to show you. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. Trust them. That's where the intuition comes from that my sister Rain said. Lexi, she says, you are an excellent reader. You have it. Trust yourself. And trust. Let's segue into that. Trust is another thing that I look for in a friend. So I've given like what, 1 million things? Ange only asked for 2. I've given 1 million. But yes, trust. When I know that I can trust you, and I know that you are never going to steer me wrong, you know, my beautiful, beautiful soul sister is always looking out for me. She's always looking out for me. All of my soul sisters here look out for me. 2 in particular are my ride or dies here. 2 in particular. Maybe 3. Maybe 3 in particular are my ride or die chicks. Because they come for me. They're like, Lexi, you need to rest, and you need to look out for yourself, and you need to ask for what you need, and you need to this. They are always, they don't play about me. They don't play about me, and I don't play about them. And they look out for me. And that is the supportive, uplifting, and inspiring love and friend that I want around me. So that's the answer to that, Ange. The next question is, what is your relationship to death? Do you fear it? And if not, now, did you when you were younger? I love this question so much. I have never feared death in my life. I fear falling, things like that. I have never feared death. I have never feared death. And the one reason I know that too is when my beautiful Jewel crossed over, and how she left us, and how, you know, way back when my father passed away 27 years ago. Zoe was 4 months old. And I always knew growing up that my dad was 7 years older than my mom. And my dad was 40 when I was born. And he turned 100 this year. And he would have been 100. And my mother was 33, like I mentioned before. The significance of that in my life, the significance of the 3-3, which this has nothing to do with this question, but I need to finish it because it's on my mind now. That my mother had me when she was 33. I had my daughter when I was 33. If my daughter decides that she wants to have a child, she will most likely have her child when she is 33. She's already discussed that. My daughter was born on 3-3. You can't make that up. 33, my mother. 33, me. My daughter was born on 3-3. And I didn't realize that until I was speaking to my soul sister, Hilda. And that's when I realized that, oh my God. You know, that's when I realized that. So that synchronicity, I would love to just research and everything and know, what does that mean in my life? That's got to be something fabulous and miraculous. Something fabulous and miraculous. You know, the number 3 is around. The number 1s are always surrounding me, but number 3 is always surrounding me as well. Always surrounding me as well. And so no, my relationship to death is, I have no fear of death. And I know that death, we don't really die. When we leave our host, when we leave this body, we go on to the great beyond to do so many other things. And I do believe in reincarnation, and we come back as somebody different. Because, you know, there's karma in this world, and that's why everybody needs to live their life with gratitude, grace, love, positive energy. Because guess what? When you leave this universe, this realm, you got to do this all over again, beloved. And what are you going to be when you come back? What are you going to be when you come back? That's a question. That's a question. So, yes, my relationship to death is, I have never feared death, ever. I've never been afraid of it. And I didn't see my father pass away. Oh, but the point I was making is, my dad passed 27 years ago. And I knew as a child growing up, and especially being raised by my mother, I was always with my dad though too. You know, my mother was a single mother, but I was always with my dad. He wasn't estranged from my life like my daughter's dad was estranged from her life. And I spent every summer and holiday with my dad, and we did so many things together. And I knew that when my dad passed, me being the baby of my dad's 3 children, and me being an only child for my mother, I knew that I would have sadness, but I knew that it wasn't going to impact me. I'm like, when he dies, he's going to die, and I'm going to be fine with that. I'm going to miss him beyond words, but it's not going to impact me in a sad state. I'm not going to be in a sad state. But from the time I was a child, my mindset was, if something happens to my mother, you better take me out. You're going to have to take me. I'm going to have to go with her, because that woman was my ride or die chick. She didn't play about me. She was my ride or die for everything in my life. And I was her ride or die forever and ever. Yeah, mothers and daughters, we butt heads. You know, we have those moments. But my mother was my chick. You know, she was my chick. And there were instances where a lot of things that she and I had to come to as an adult, that I had to make her understand, of things that she did concerning me as a child that were not good things. But I had to bring her, I had to come into my adulthood and be a grown-ass woman to make her understand, to the point where she apologized to me. You know, I had to make her understand, because we don't come here with manuals on how to raise children. And when we have a child who is a special child, and I'm not talking about special needs and that kind of thing. I'm talking about a special human being like myself. I have always been empathic. I have always been high vibrational. I have always been love and light to everyone. Everyone, from the time I was a child, when people meet me, people always gravitate towards me. You know, they always say, this was in a reading this morning too, a Leo reading. And they always say that we always look for attention. We look for attention. No. People gravitate towards Leos and towards me. I'm a magnet to people. People gravitate towards me. Like I said it here before, I don't ever meet a stranger. When I go out in the world, people just talk to me and just come up to me and whatever. And my daughter's like, you know them? I'm like, no. But that's just my aura and my persona. And I've been told on several occasions about my aura, my pink, beautiful aura that surrounds me. And you know, pink is my favorite color. And that people see me when I'm coming from 2 blocks away, and they're like, oh my God, I saw your aura. I just had to come and speak to you. I attract people towards me all the time. Is it always good energy? Not always. But I know that those people are seeking something from me, because I am a bright, high frequency, energized light on this planet. And I know that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't fear death, because I know that I am going to be reincarnated into the best thing ever. And I'm coming back, baby. I'm going to be back. And when I do this thing again, it's going to be magical. It's going to be magical. So no, I don't fear death. And my relationship to death is positive. I don't see it as a gloom or doom. Yes, did I grieve the passing of my mother for almost 4 years and cry every single day, multiple times a day? Yes. But that is the love that I have for my mother. Grief is love with no place to go. I'm going to say that to you again. Grief is love with nowhere to go, no place to go. So that crying and everything, I had to get that out of my system. And it took me 3.5 years to do that. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I know that my mother is here. She's here right now. You see all the butterflies? She's here right now. My beautiful sister Ann, who asked these questions, she you know, she always says to me, look at the butterflies. Look at the butterflies behind you. I'm always looking to see what color butterflies. You know, she always notices. She always notices, you know. And my beautiful sister Nancy, who told me that my mother was a butterfly, right? And then when I put this up, this came from a soul sister of mine. And when I put it up, you know, Andrew's the first one to notice. She's like, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the butterflies. You know, so I know that's my mommy. I know that's my mommy now, because I always thought my mommy, you know, I always thought she was a cardinal. But I know that she's a butterfly in my life. And it's so amazing. I look at certain things and I see butterflies, and that's when I know my mother's there. There was a reading the other day from Natija Cave. There was a reading from her. And usually when she films, you don't really see a lot. You know, she's either in her bedroom or in her living room or different spaces, or sometimes in her kitchen. She's in different spots. This one video that I watched, and I don't know if it was a recent one or it might have been a couple months ago. The wall next to her where she sits in her room where her desk is, we never see that. But she has a wall right next to her, and it's all butterflies. It's all beautiful butterflies. And when I saw that and what she was saying resonated with me, and I saw that, and I busted out crying, happy tears. I'm like, Mommy, you're there. And then another reading, you know, she pulled this card and it was 11:11. I'm like, Mommy, my mother is all around me. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. And she's here. You know, so I always thank my beautiful soul sister that sent me this. And then my soul sisters who noticed, like Ange, and my soul sister Nancy, who told me, your mother is here in the form of a butterfly. And whenever you see a butterfly, that's your beautiful jewel. You know? She's told me, you know, she's told me. So, and Anne says, if not now, did you when you were younger? Was I fearful? No, I've never been afraid of death. Yeah, I have such a calming, it's like a calming thing for me. I've never been afraid. Maybe that says something. Maybe I'm supposed to be like a death worker or something, you know? Or maybe that's what I was in a past life, or maybe that's what I will be. I don't know. But I have never been afraid of death. Never. And when my beautiful mommy passed away, yes, you know, I cried, like I said, for those 3.5 years. But when I went to see her before she was cremated, and her face was just so smooth and so beautiful, and she was just there, so beautiful, loving. She was telling me, you know, don't worry about me, Lexi, I'm okay, and you're gonna be okay. Not Lexi, Lex. She used to call me Lexi Poo, though. She used to call me Lexi Poo. Yeah, she used to call me Lexi Poo. But for the most part, she always called me Lex. And I knew in that moment that, you know, I was gonna be okay, but the love that I had for my mother had to come out, and it just had to come out in tears. And at that time, I wish I knew about the tear cloth that Nancy has explained in one of her videos. I need to find that video and put it down below here. Let me make myself a note about the tear cloth. And I do wish that I had one. I don't. I need to get something. Actually, I've been using it as a rag. It's a shirt of my mother's, an old shirt of my mother's. I think I'm going to cut that, make it smaller. I'm going to wash it, cut it. It's like a printed shirt, and I have it right here. I'm going to bring it. Let me get it so you can see it. And there you see my little area, my fan, all my decks that I have so far. I'm getting there. I don't have the magnitude of decks that my soul sisters have. They have, oh my God, shelves and shelves and rooms full of decks, full of decks. I told one of my soul sisters that she's gonna leave all her oracle decks. She's gonna leave all her oracle decks to me. She's gonna leave all her oracle decks to me. In her will. The Oracle decks go to Lexi. Don't forget. But this was a shirt of my mother's. And so I'm going to make this into a tear cloth. I'm going to make this into a tear cloth. It's got a beautiful hibiscus flower. And hibiscus was our flowers on St. Croix, beautiful flower. So I'm going to cut this here. And I'm going to wash this. And I'm going to make it my tear cloth. So yes. Because I'm like, gosh, I don't have one. But I have this. I have this. It doesn't still smell like mommy, though. A little bit. But I have this. So, my tear cloth. Yay! Yay! So, yes. So, Ange, I hope that answered your question. That I am I do not fear death at all. I do not. I just have a peaceful mindset when it comes to death. Very peaceful. Very peaceful. You know, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I know that I'm leaving a footprint here for everyone. And when it's my time, it's my time. Like when my mother left us, you know, she left us whole, Zoe and I, even though I was not whole for 3.5 years. You know, I was not. But she left us. She didn't leave us in a good space as far as financially goes, but she left us in a good space as far as making us. She was the one that guided me into being a strong woman and gave me that to guide my Zoe into a superwoman. Zoe is a super strong, super woman. She is. She will be. She will be. Especially, God forbid, that I leave this planet. She will be. Because we all have to go. You know, there's no alternative. You know, unless they come up with something within these next couple of years that, you know, we can live forever. And then do we want to? In the state of the universe now, do we want to live forever? I don't think I do. But I would like to live forever in the great beyond. So, yeah. So, no, I'm not afraid. The next question is, and when I was younger, no, never been afraid. If you could have any meal cooked and delivered fresh to your door right now, what would it be? Well, that's an easy one for me. A juicy, medium rare, more rare with the blood oozing filet mignon and one of the biggest ass lobster tails you can find. That is my meal that I would have delivered to me right now with the drawn butter. I want that butter all over my steak and I want that butter all over my lobster. Yes. Yes, I don't want hollandaise sauce. I don't want any of that. I want my salt and pepper. I want butter. Nothing but beautiful, beautiful drawn butter, some beautiful ghee. I want that melted all over my steak and my lobster. If, you know, sometimes I like steak sauce. Sometimes I like an A1. But butter is the thing, and I have to have salt. I love salt, and I have to have salt. And salt is your friend. Remember that, people. For anybody who's watching this, says, "Oh, salt does not give you high blood pressure." You heard it from Lexi. No, I'm not a medical doctor, but you can research it. Salt does not give you high blood pressure. It does not. Salt is your friend, and we need salt in our bodies to keep us hydrated. Because when you're drinking all that water every day and you don't put some potassium, magnesium, some salt in your water, maybe some lemon in your water, you're depleting all the nutrients in your body. I know we say this went into a whole nother thing, but yes. So salt is your friend. So that would be the meal that I would have delivered to me right now. Right now. Filet mignon, medium, with the blood oozing, because I love it. I love it like that. I don't want any well done meat. The meat is already dead. I don't need it well done. If that's your jam, then good for you. But that is not my jam. And a beautiful lobster tail. It could be a Maine lobster. I do like an island spiny lobster. I do like that because you get more meat in that lobster because there's no claws. So you get more meat. But whatever it is, it has to be bigger than a prawn. Like I don't want one of those little teeny lobster tails that is basically it's a large shrimp. Or like a langostina. It's basically a shrimp. I don't want that. I want a huge lobster tail. Now, if it's a Maine lobster or a lobster that has claws, I'll take the claws too. Yes. And the last question from Ange is, if you could give one piece of solid advice about life to teens and younger adults out there today, what would you tell them? And the one thing I would tell, especially if it was my younger self, but to teens and young adults today, is don't rush. Don't rush becoming an adult. Enjoy your life. Enjoy it. Don't rush becoming an adult. That's the first thing. Honor, yourself, but honor your elders. Your elders are here to guide you, to give you that wisdom and that knowledge of where they came from, because they've been here before. They know. They've been where you are, and they know things. Teens and young adults today are like, I know. They know everything, but you don't know shit, beloved. You don't. Your elders, that's what we're here for, to guide you in the right direction, so that you don't make some of the mistakes that some of us made, and so that you can have a better life going forward. So honor your elders always. You don't know everything. You don't. Trust me, you don't. And if you know what I know, you'll stay at home with your elders and with your parents, because you want to get out and get you an apartment, and I want my car and I want my apartment. And I feel like I'm so glad that I was able to live with my mother I lived with her for my whole life. But once I moved away and I had a man in my life and then had a child, my mother came and she was there with me. She was there with me 3 or 4 years before Zoe was born, up until Zoe turned 23. My mother passed when Zoe was 23. Zoe had been 23 and 3 months when my mother passed. My mother passed on June 7th, 2021, and Zoe turned 23 on March 3rd, 2021. So my mother was with me. My mother was in the hospital room with me when I gave birth to Zoe. My mother was with me for so many core moments, for Zoe's first Holy Communion, for Zoe's confirmation, for Zoe's graduation from high school. Excuse me. My mother was there for me through all those core moments. And I know that Zoe's going to make a video. I don't think it's going to be a sunshine, moonbeam, and rainbows video about my mom, because they had their moments. But, my mother was there for me, and I cherished that as an adult. I needed my mother with me, and we needed to live together. We needed each other. We were that nuclear family, and I was part of the sandwich generation, being in the middle of having a young child and having my senior citizen mother, and taking care of her and taking care of my baby at the same time. And I cherish that time. I'll never forget that, and I cherish it so much. But don't squander this time. Don't squander your time trying to become an adult and do so many things already. When I was coming up, it wasn't a big thing on when you're 18, you're an adult. Now, as soon as you turn 18, you are an adult, and that's it. When I was coming up, you were still a teenager. You were still a child. You were an official adult when you turned 21 years old. And I cherished my time. I cherished it. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 17. I wasn't trying to do things really, really early, I didn't have my first, I always babysat. My main job was babysitting from a young girl, because I was always more mature than everyone. And at 7 years old, I was babysitting. I was trusted to babysit and watch somebody while somebody's grown parent went out and left me with a child. Nobody has ever died on my watch. Nobody's ever gotten hurt on my watch. They didn't like me a lot of times on my watch, because even as a young girl, I'm like, no, honey, you need to clean up. You need to do this, that, and the other. So when your mother and father come back, this place looks sparkling clean, and this and that. They didn't like it. I'm like, oh, Lex is coming. She's going to make us clean again. Yes, I am. That was me. Little mommy Lex. And so yeah, I would say give a young adult and teens advice, solid advice is to stay young as long as you can and enjoy this and soak up learn everything that you can. That is another piece of advice that I have. Learn everything that you can. Read everything that you can. Your mind is a sponge. Get index cards and write notes, write things down and study those things and keep them here. You know, study the world, study whatever is your passion, study it and learn it and become excellent at it. Let your passion, if that's your passion to do something, then do it well, study it well and do it. And that passion, that thing that you love so much will carry you throughout the rest of your life. It will carry you throughout. My passion since I was a little girl has always been education, has always been to be a teacher and an advocate. And when I went back to school at the age of 49, I decided that I changed that around because I wanted to be an educator, but not for little children. I wanted to be an educator for grown-ass women and men like myself, who at 49 or at 30 or at 40 or at 20-something decided that they wanted to go back to school and learn something to better their life. And that has been my passion. Now I said that this wasn't going to be an educational, channel. I do teach a few things, in my daily vlogs, my daily videos. I do teach things. I do teach things. And that's just in me. And I'm also an advocate, and I'm someone who I have been resistance, because God is like, people are going to seek you out. My divine spirit, my guides, they always tell me, this person is coming to you. This person needs you in their life. This person needs the wisdom and the knowledge that you have to invoke on this person, because you've been through so many things in your life, and this is what you're here to teach. And I've been so resistant to that. I didn't want to hear that. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to do that. And divine spirit, God, whomever you align with, I align with God. I am a Catholic. I align with God. I always will. I align with divine spirit. Sometimes I align with Buddha. Sometimes I do. When I was growing up, I know we're getting off topic. When I was growing up, my mother let me experience every religion and every church. I knew that I was Catholic, and that's where I wanted to be. That was my home. That was where I wanted to be. And I know that's triggering for some people, because this Catholic Church has been embroiled in so many things, but so has so many other churches. And when you give that power to one person, things can be misled. Things can go awry. But I've never been involved in any of that situation. As far as I see, the church has always been my safe space and my haven, and my Catholic religion and my Catholic faith have always brought me to where I need to be. My prayers have brought me, and now that I have my new prayers, I have my prayer to the divine spirit that I say each and every day, sometimes several times a day. I say that. I say that. This prayer that I learned from the beautiful Sonia Choquette. This prayer will go with me forever. Divine spirit within me, move me in the direction of my highest good this day. My highest good this day. And the prayer goes on. The prayer goes on. But this prayer I say every single day, several times a day. And the abundance and the blessings that are raining down on my daughter and I, and on you and this collective, because it's sharing, it's going out to everyone, is because of divine spirit, is because of God, is because of the things. I have my tools are all around me. My tools are all around me. My rosary beads. One day I'm going to bring them. They're here. They're over in the corner there. I have to bring my rosary beads here. My rosary is something that I used to say every single day, and I need to get back to that because it just brings me comfort and joy. It's the same with like mala beads. I love mala beads. Those things bring me comfort. So whatever brings you comfort, you may not align with any of this, you know, and that's fine. It's not for everyone. It's what you know, has been instilled in you. It's been instilled in me as a child, and it's something that I will carry with me forever, and especially because it came from my mom, because it came from my mother. You know, so I would just say to you, hone your passion. You know, my passion was education, and I was so resistant to it, but I honed it. You know, I went back to school and I learned, and then when I got my master's degree, I taught myself, because I did that online. I was teaching myself. And the things that I taught myself, I'm a writer. That's another passion of mine. I am a writer. I have always been a writer since I've been a child. I've always been a writer. I've written stories. Nothing that I've ever published. I've written songs. I've never published. I've never spoken about any of these things. So many things I write, you know, my journals that I write in. You know, we all have that power. We are all creative in some way. So I would say to my younger self and to a teen today and a younger adult to hold steadfast to your youth, to your youth. Don't be too quick to grow up. Hold steadfast to that. Hold steadfast to honor and cherish your elders, because they're not going to be with you forever. Listen to your elders. They have so much wisdom and knowledge and love to impart on you. Listen to them. Trust them. Love on them, because they won't be here for a long time. And then you will wonder, God, I should have spent more time with so-and-so and so-and-so. Yes. So honor those people and honor your mother and your father. If you have a good relationship with your parents, not everyone does, and you don't have to. But if you have a good relationship with your parents, you trust them and you love them, honor that relationship. Honor that relationship. And my next piece of advice to you is, like I said, hone your passion. If you have a passion for cars, learn all you can about those cars. And what is your passion about cars? Do you want to build cars? You want to be a race car driver? What is your passion? Learn it so you know it and you can teach it and speak it to other people. Know your passion. You have a passion for art and drawing. Learn it. Hone your skills. Yes, there's abstract art and there's different things, but there's also an educational piece to that. So learn it. Get you some art books and study your favorite artist. Your favorite artist or your favorite piece of art. You know, everybody here knows that my favorite piece of art is my little lady, the Mona Lisa. You know, study your art. Go and visit, go to museums. You know, do that. If you're somebody who loves to read everything. Read everything, all different genres of books. And get your favorite book and what you love, and just, you know, read that and learn. Let those books teach you and send you traveling to other places. That's what books do. And then go to those places. Explore those places. You know, so just find out what you love, what is your passion, and learn everything you can about that thing. You know, my passion, like I said, was education. I have several passions, but my main passion was education. And I went back to school at that age of 49 because I wanted to hone that skill. I knew that that would be the thing that would just get me everywhere. And have in that process is where I learned to be a speaker, where I honed my writing skills. You know, and I did my dissertation and I did all the stuff and I learned about the thesis and this and that. I learned all those things to make me a better person so that I can teach other people. I've always wanted to be a professor. When I went back to undergrad, they used to call me Lexi, the rock star professor. I have a tattoo on my foot I'm going to post a picture of it here. Of my foot, it says rock star with stars and things. And yes, that was one of my goals, to be the rock star professor, to have my Lexi talks, just like the TED Talks. And I'm doing that here. This is like this YouTube space is like the catalyst for me to do so many things and go so many places, Yappy and I. Yes, yes. And I'm so looking forward to that. This is just the jumping off point. This is just the beginning. You know, but there's so many things and passions that I have that I want to do. So that would be my last piece of advice to somebody, teen or young adult, to hone your passion. Learn everything you want to learn about it. There's something that you love and you know that that's the thing that you want to do, then go do it and go learn everything you can about it. Yes. So I hope you like this 3rd anniversary Q&A. This was a long one today. I was trying not to be so long, but this was a long one today because I had a lot to say. I always have a lot to say. And I hope that you watch it and that something here resonated with you in the questions. And I hope that my beautiful soul sister Rain and my beautiful soul sister Ange resonated and liked the answers that I gave to their questions. And you know, you can always ask me anything. Drop it down below. You can always ask me anything, and I'll save those things. And when we do a next one, which will be May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th will be our next Q&A. So if you have questions, put them down below. Send them to me or email me at leximilner1111@gmail.com. Email me, you know, and that'll be something that I'll put in another video. If you have an idea for a video, email me or drop it down below so we could do it, so we can get into it. I'm up for suggestions, always. If it's something that I can do and I can facilitate with what I have, then yes, we will do it. I will do it. Yappy and I will get into it. So, once again, I am Alexis. This is the beautiful, beautiful Yappy, soon to be on another platform as Lappy Yappy. So stay tuned for that. And my friends here all call me Lexi. And some of my friends here call me Sexy Lexi, and that's sexy with an I. Sexy Lexi, both with an I. I notice a lot of people here, they spell my name either L-E-X-Y or L-E-X-I-E, and I don't ever get mad at that because it's Lexi. But I know being in the chat, you know, with certain people and you spell their name wrong, ooh, girl, they will go off. I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me in the least. And some other friends here call me Luscious Lexi. So I hope you have the most amazing, beautiful Saturday. I hope the sun is shining where you are like it is here. It's going to be almost 90 degrees here today. So soon I'm going to take off my jacket and, you know, maybe I'll go outside and get a little sun on my body. Get a little sun. I was thinking about going swimming tonight. My daughter and I going to the hot tub and going to the pool at her workplace. And so we may or may not do that this evening. If I do it, I'll do a little sneak video. If I go, I'll do a little video and post it. But I hope you have the most amazing day and the most amazing weekend. And I thank you so much for blessing me with your presence, for being the supportive, uplifting, and inspiring me. You know, I hope that I inspire you too. I hope that I do. So, Yappy and I are going to say deuces, and I love you plenty, or we love you plenty, plenty, plenty.